This shit is so fucking weird, dude. I'm reading the viz for the first time ever, and this is so weird how the fucking pages are like.
You go left.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this shit. One Piece chapter 931. I saw people getting upset when we in the live discussion, or some people in the comment section saying, "Oh, you guys veered away from the discussion too much. You guys can just focus on One Piece." And it was just like the chapter was fine, but I felt like after we talked about the Big Mom stuff and the Sanji stuff, it wasn't that much to go on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It really bothers me when people do that, because it's like, if we have a 2-hour stream and an hour of it spent talking about One Piece, it's like, what else? Especially if like there's nothing to happen in the chapter, or not much that happened in the chapter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was like 3 plot lines, but really there was only 2. Because the Robin thing didn't really go anywhere where it's like abruptly. You can be in depth about it.
Yeah.
So exactly. It's basically just Raid Suit plus Big Mom, and once you like exhaust those options, like, well, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's just like you can talk about the Robin thing for like 5 minutes, and then you can talk about the Big Mom thing, and then it's just like the Sanji thing. So like you can't talk much about it, but yeah.
And people, as far as the Robin thing, weren't really as into it. They're like, okay, Robin is here with these guys. Those characters look cool. All right, let's move on, you know.
And gloss over.
So there wasn't that much. But, you know, people love their One Piece, which is insane. The cover page, did anybody care about it? I barely looked at it. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, shit, I didn't remember frogs on the front of it.
Yeah, I didn't read.
What was the cover page like? Was it a story or
no? It was just a fan request.
Another fan request by Noda Skywalker.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't really.
That's Oda.
To the fan request.
I could never care about.
But Froob, you don't care about any cover page, do you?
I mean, that's not true. I mean, I cared about like the
Shanks one.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, some of them I cared about, but it's just like some of them were just boring. It was just like, oh, this is a Hardridin's crew member. It's like, okay, sick cover page.
There's certain cover stories that are like the cover stories that coincide directly with the story. Those are good. Those are pretty informative.
Yeah.
But aside from that, and then it's also like I don't read the cover stories as they like on a week by week basis. Like for instance, like the 500 Barry the 500 million man.
Yeah. Where everybody was reading. I read that stories.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I read that all the way at the end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just waited. I mean, because that shit went on for like 20 like chapters. So I just waited all the way until the end. But the thing is, it's like, I don't know, man. Like that cover story, it was kind of weird how Oda did that, because he had the 500 million man arc, and then like right after that, Luffy's bounty raises up to 1.5 billion. So I think that what's going to happen is, because if y'all remember in chapter, like whenever they did the everybody's like reacting to the bounties after Ina's lobby. Yeah. That was originally part of a cover story. So I think that they're going to
incorporate this into.
Yeah. Like, so they're going to incorporate the 500 million Berryman arc. And they're going to do like the reactions, but it's not going to be the reactions to 500 million. It's going to be the reactions to 1.5 billion. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I actually probably like to see that more than most of the cover stories, but like I say this all the time. It's like the cover stories aren't really meant to be that entertaining. Yeah, like they're just kind of side things. Like even some of the most famous ones that kind of led up, like Ace tracking down Blackbeard. If you actually go back and read the cover story, it's kind of just like the cover stories we see now, where it's just like they're just like walking around. Yeah, basically.
But I think some of it is just like fan service. It's just giving the fans just like random art, for different characters. Yeah. So like, this one has Zeus on the cover, with Nami, and it's like dripping the raindrops. It's just random. But
I feel I feel like it's for Oda to get like a plot point off that he won't have time to get off in the story directly.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Oda's using various mediums to kind of get his story across and get like different things out, which is like the novels, the SBSs, the favorite cards, just so many things he's dropping, which kind of is somewhat insinuating that he's ready to end it, or he's like, all right, I'm gonna start pushing out information as much as possible so that we can get close to the end of the story and shit can make sense.
I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, bro. Yeah. I think One Piece is gonna end by like I think if it 2025. I think if it seems like if it goes longer than that, bro, it's just like
I think it goes longer than that.
I mean,
I wanted to go longer than that personally, but
I think it definitely goes longer than that.
I mean, nah. The thing is like you got to think like I think we did the math and it's like 240 chapters or something, 280 chapters.
280. Like
yeah.
If he goes like, at the same pace that he's going at like right now.
Yeah. So like I definitely can see that happening. And the thing is like Oda is like seems like he's rushing the story. Like we can get into this later, obviously, but I feel like this Big Mom thing was never planned. I feel like this is like a kind of him rushing some type of plot point that he wanted to get to.
Yeah, we'll talk about that because I don't know what you mean by that. But
yeah, speaking of cover stories though, the one that I'm actually kind of interested in is to actually see what's on the poneglyph that Jinbei found, and the one that gave the Big Mom that the Shroud's got the second rubbing of.
That's like some of the like okay, so at the payoff at the end of the cover stories is, you know, that's like the big like the boom, you know, so like in Enno's cover story, that was really good. Then you had the one where CP9 was running away from the government. Yeah, that was
good.
Actually, I really liked Crocodiles.
Crocodiles was good.
Yeah, Crocodiles was good. It showed that he didn't it show that he actually like had a chance to get away, but it
declined,
did. It did.
Yeah, it was really cool for his character, which is why I liked it. I was like, well, that's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, adding depth to his character, which you know we always want.
And then there was a Caribou cover story where it actually showed Drake capturing him.
The famous and then, like when I saw that everyone uses.
Yeah, and when I saw that shit, bro, I was like, okay, like it's damn near confirmed that part of Kaido's crew. I remember when I saw that, and then.
Oh yeah, because remember, like all we saw post time skip was him going to Scotch and saying, "Hey, is this Kaido's favorite island or whatever?" And then it never.
Yeah, he was just like,
just ends up
right.
So I guess the theory was like more than likely either he joined Kaido's crew or he's captured by Kaido. But a lot of people kind of theorize like he's a Zoan, so it makes sense for him to kind of join Kaido and be that supernova for Luffy. So and then you know. So far, he hasn't shown any inclination. We've only seen him once, or like in one chapter, or 2 chapters. Even 2 chapters.
We've seen him like 2 chapters. But I mean, I think like I've said about all the supernova is, so we see the two sides of the spectrum, and the eyes of the supernova from the New World. Okay, so you either take the umbrella of Yonko or you constantly challenge one. We're seeing those 2 perspectives in the eyes of the supernova. So obviously, you know, I think that every supernova that joins a Yonko is doing it just for momentary gain, and they're waiting for the chance to turn on them.
Yeah.
I think that's the case with every single.
My thing was I looked at Apu as Yonko. I don't know why I view Apu differently, like he did it out of fear, but I guess it's like momentary.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say that they're doing it just to turn on them,
just to get ahead
per se. Yeah, I think that they're just I don't know, because
like biding their time.
I don't think Apu has any plans of like trying to kill Kaido. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, look, this is the thing. So they had the plan to to take down Shanks, Apu, Hawkins, Kid, and Killer. Yep. Well, so the way that it seems is like Kid was the one that just ran in for the kill to try and attack Kaido, and he got dealt with in similar fashion that
pretty much
Luffy
one shot. Yeah,
exactly. And for Hawkins' character, it would make sense for him to jump right in. That's just not how he operates, especially with his percentage was probably hella low.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think that Kid and Apu, or I think Apu and Hawkins, you know, they kind of just looked at the situation and were like, "Yo, we'll join you."
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
And
just
Killer-
to save
Killer
their just
got
to
out of
save
there.
their own ass.
I think
Killer either
I-
got out of there or he just I don't know what happened.
I think Kid gave him time to get away.
Okay.
I think Kid gave him time to get away. For sure.
And then there's also another scenario where like Kid or where Apu and Hawkins betrayed Kid because they knew that they were going to lose the Kaido. So they just did that, you know, like to kind of prove their worth to Kaido and prove that they would follow him.
Yeah.
So I think it was like something of that stature. But it's only inevitable, you know, when they're gonna betray him, when they're gonna join Luffy's side.
Hopefully they don't. I just it's like I don't want every supernova to just like help Luffy. I mean, it seems like that's where the story is going, but it would be good if it's just like a supernova. They join Kaido and they're like, nah, I'm with him. I'm not fucking with you.
I mean, I can maybe see like a poo.
Maybe a
spinning.
Same, but like I don't know. Like I can't explain why. I just like with Apu specifically, I was like, I don't really fuck with him. So
yeah, I'm like, yeah, you can stay. You can stay. You can stay over there on that side. Like I said, I mean, it just seems like inevitable for them to come to Luffy's side. But it just seems like, oh my god, it's just like.
Do you think
the thing is like
that's overkill?
Yeah, it's just.
Well, especially now with Big Mom, like.
Well, but my thing is with this. Well, I'm starting to lean towards I can see a tag team for Kaido, and not 3, where it's just Kid and Luffy versus Kaido.
Kid and Luffy.
Yeah.
My dream scenario would be something like if Big Mom like fights Kaido and she's on Luffy's side, and then like she regains her memory, and like they're both slightly nerfed, but they're still like kind of strong, and then like Kid and Luffy each take one-on-one. But I know that it'll never happen.
That's a huge jump. But the thing is, it's just that when I'm trying to project the growth of Kid and Luffy, and based on where they are now, it's just I'm starting to see that. Man, if they are around right hand or second commander level right now, and say they get a fight and they get another bump to pass the right hand, where they're stronger than most right hands by themselves, I don't think it's that crazy where they get like a little fucking plot bump and defeat Kaido. Especially if Law is playing like support right? In a way, it's just that I know, like, when we view Kaido, he one-shot Luffy, so there's no chance Luffy can beat him this arc. It's just Luffy just gets owned the first time he fights people. Like, he just gets.
No, there's definitely a chance. Like, and I mean, Luffy's definitely gonna. The thing is that Luffy is a combat genius, so he wasn't in his right mind. You know, he wasn't able to apply the things that he learned from the Katakuri fight and his engagement with Kaido, because he was just so hell bent on like, yo, you
finishing
like
right
you just
now.
Attacked my friends.
He wanted to finish it right now, which is like it was unrealistic. And then the thing is, Kaido, the things that are Luffy's strengths, Kaido has those strengths as well. So it's like with being super strong and physical and basically close combat, right? It's like that's probably what Kaido does. So for Luffy, fighting Kaido straight up like that, that's probably not the way you're going to beat him. So for him getting one shot, I think it was a way to kind of hype Kaido up, to kind of give you the impression that, okay, the Straw Hats, they stand no chance. Like, their strongest fighter right now, he got one shot by Kaido, so everything is dire. Where I think once we see Luffy and Kid fight together, you're gonna be like, oh shit, like Kaido better watch out, because these dudes powerful. And I saw people saying, why is Luffy lifting these, I guess, weights that aren't, he's lifted heavier things before. Why is his body changing? And I'm just like, yeah, you can lift like lighter weights, but you're lifting these weights every day, several times a day. It's like, it's gonna affect your body. Like, lifting one thing heavier a few times is not gonna change your body. Yeah. So,
like, I think when we see Luffy again, bro, he's gonna look different.
I like it. I mean, the thing is, it's like we know Oda said he was always going to be. It's like a symbolic thing where him being small versus his opponents. But it's like him maturing a bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I feel like with at least physically, I feel like that's necessary.
It pisses me off when I see how little Luffy is in reference to other people, bro. Like with Katakuri, oh my god, dude. I was like, yo, what is going on here? And then it's like, is Luffy ever gonna get a growth spurt like that? Because I think Kobe's bigger than Luffy at this point.
What's crazy is that when you look at Luffy's family, they're pretty tall people.
Yeah,
Dragon's all like 6'5", like 7 feet.
Garp is tall.
Garp's like that tall too.
And
Garp is big, like the rest of the admirals as well. Like the admirals are all 10 feet tall.
I don't understand why Luffy is that small. Like he should have.
It's annoying.
It's kind of like just like on a lot of it's just for like storytelling purposes. It's like, oh, he's like the ultimate underdog. He's smaller than everyone, kind of thing.
But I think Oda like literally is the guy because it's his story. He's like, oh, I want Katakuri to be this tall. I don't care. Yeah. That's it. That's like literally it. I just want him to be that tall. I think it'd be fun. And I think that's how Oda looks at the story. I think it'd be funny. I want him to laugh this way. And I think his mind operates differently. So when we try to look at size, like me and Drizzt, we talked about Katakuri and him having like a reach advantage over Luffy. And it's not really utilized in the fight that much. Because Luffy overcomes it, obviously.
Yeah, that's because size really doesn't. I mean, size doesn't matter in One Piece because the fights aren't actually technical. No. Like, bro, you don't actually have to beat someone by beating them.
What shocked the fuck out of me was how Vista is, the size of Vista.
But bro,
that's got to be a change, bro. He is not that big.
Oda,
dude, all of them, all of the characters in One Piece, like if you really look at it, all of the strong characters in One Piece are like 10 feet tall. Look at Dofi, look at the admirals, look at
not even that. The one thing that makes me a little bit angry is that how inconsistent Oda has been with Kaido's height. Like I'm so confused because like Kaido looked like a literal fucking giant, but now he looks like he's like Whitebeard size.
But then they were saying who's taller, him or Big Mom? Where it's
Big Mom's actually significantly taller than him.
Where it's like I'm not sure what Oda's gonna do with the size when like he starts scaling them as far as fighting and matching up with each other. But when we look at the Mihawk and Vista fight, Vista is not towering over Mihawk the way he should based on his size.
I may be like remembering it wrong, but like Vista was taller and he was like bigger, but like they were actually kind of comparable.
They were, bro. I went back and looked at it. Like it wasn't that significant. So for Vista to be as tall, no, Vista is supposedly like a fucking semi-giant. Like it's insane.
Yeah, like compared to like Mihawk's actually pretty tall. Mihawk's like 6'5", dude.
Exactly. Like if you look at Shanks, I think Shanks is like 6'7".
Yeah, he's like the same height as Mihawk. Like they're
bro,
all
like
around that same height.
if you go back, like bro, go.
The somewhat regular height is like Shanks, Smoker, Rayleigh. Those guys are
regular height. Like they're easily like
like
6'5" and up.
Robin's like 6. Robin's like 6'2", I believe.
6'2.5".
Brooke is like 8
Brooke
foot
is really tall.
I
don't mind the height thing, but I feel like it just has to be consistent. But the thing is, Oda, when he's drawing the panels, it's just like he's scaling it down for it to make sense, and it's like
I don't know, like I don't know if you guys remember like the anime intro where like Luffy and like Kaido like punch each other with like the Gear Force. Like, dude, Kaido was fucking
he was huge. He was
and then in like the one chapter, like the chapters recently, it's like he's been like
not that significant.
Yeah, it's like he's literally Whitebeard size, which is still big, but it's not like fucking before where it looked like he was like a semi-giant.
Whitebeard was enormous, bro. Like, why? And we're never gonna get an explanation why he was that big, but it was just like
I think it's
at least Whitebeard was like big for a long time though. Like even in his flashback, he was like still like this big
he was big as fuck.
He was paused, but I was wondering like it's just like I know we're never gonna get that explanation. Like, yo, these characters are fucking huge because of X. Like, remember when we first saw Big Mom? Like, it was like, okay, so she must be an experiment or something. Like when we saw a small Big Mom, at least.
Well, I feel like Big Mom's a little bit different because
when did we see small Big Mom?
When her parents left her.
He's talking about as a kid.
She was still tall.
That's what I'm saying.
when her parents left her. Okay,
yeah, it was like, wait, is she a fucking experiment? Like, what's going on?
I thought you were talking about like the first time we saw her when that bitch was eating people.
No. I'm talking about no. Oh, you talking about like at Fishman Island?
Yeah.
when we saw, that's when we first saw Pudding too, right?
Yeah, that's when we saw Pudding, and then
and she
Big
ate
Mom
people,
was just laying down
and
there,
the acid was falling. Whatever
yes,
happened to that,
bro? That's what I'm saying. Like Zorro just posted something on Twitter, and he was like, "Yo, like what the fuck happened to Big Mom?" She was like, "Bro, like
the acid doesn't fall from her mouth anymore."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it just seems like completely different than when we first saw her.
It's funny that Oda sometimes draws these characters, and then he draws them so menacing, and it's like, is that the perspective of that's how I want you to view them, right? That's how I want you to view these characters. Then you finally meet them, then it's like they're not as menacing as
like the Wizard of Oz thing.
Yeah, yeah. Because before we met Big Mom and were introduced to Big Mom, it seemed like this whole cake seemed like a dark place. Like it was dark. It was shadows everywhere. Pudding looked fucking like troubled. Everybody was worried all the time. And then
honestly, I still feel like it was like that. I think like the whole Big Mom chasing kind of ruined like that perspective.
No, it did. I'm talking about like just the image of it, the imagery set it up for Whole Cake to be like this eerie place.
Was, though.
No. Not Whole Cake was eerie.
I mean the forest and everything.
Whole Cake was eerie at first. Like, remember when she was singing?
I'm talking about aesthetically. The first introduction to Big Mom on a Whole Cake, she was fucking singing a musical. Of course, the shit she was singing was fucked up. But I'm talking about like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like creepy and like, I guess cute. I don't want to say that word because it sounds weird, but it's like
the imagery was like contrast to what we got.
That shit reminded me.
It was like super
like
bright. It was rainbows. It was like fucking. It was like, what? This is what Big Mom is about. It was like a whole different thing. Which, but then, like you said, what we initially saw from Big Mom was her true nature, or the true nature of Whole Cake. But Oda kind of like, dressed it up.
I don't know. I feel like the whole seducing woods kind of like brought up like the eeriness and shit like that and stuff like that. But
it did.
Well, the thing is, like I said, the song that Big Mom she sung at the beginning, where she said, "We will eat your bones, and then your blood will be our."
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole point of it was supposed to contrast like evil with like happy and like I don't know,
masked, like like, and then the people, it's like, oh, the people are all happy. Then you find out that they're actually giving fucking their lifespan to stay there. Big Mom's fucked up, man.
I still like, okay, so as far as Big Mom goes, man, like it's a real big ass disappointment. Because I'm gonna be real, I really thought that there was gonna be like some Horcrux shit going on with Big Mom, especially with like the soul fruit. And the only reason why I say that is because it was highlighted that like 6 of her homies are different than all the rest of the homies, and the fact that they actually have pieces of Big Mom's soul herself inside of them.
That could still be
I'm like, I mean, it could still be a thing, Brago, but I don't
know
if it's like, bro, like when are we gonna have time to even like go over that? And then it's like if that was a part of the reason as to why she's like indestructible and why she can't be hurt and shit like that, like you gotta hurt those parts of her soul first before you can hurt her. That would be so fucking dope. And it would be like, it would be like, damn, how are we gonna, like, Brook would be very instrumental in that, obviously, because he's the only one that can damage him.
I think what Oda's gonna just chalk it up to is like Big Mom's will, because the thing is, when her mind is messed up, she can get hurt. So I think it's just an embodiment of just how much like fucking will she has, and it creates like an armor around her. And the thing is, I don't know. I doubt he goes as far as like, okay, you got to destroy Prometheus and Zeus and
and then the other 3, the
other 3, she gave him to like her trusted like people, like Radiant.
I mean, the thing is like she would be unkillable if that was like true, right?
No, she wouldn't.
You just have to kill all those other things
them, though.
That's why I said Brook would be instrumental, because Brook would be able to
that would be like
them.
so dumb though.
That'd be kind of like convenient for the Straw Hats.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Brook is like.
But we felt that though throughout Whole Cake. We were like, exactly. So now Brook is the only person that can hit Prometheus, and we had
but it's a little bit different to where like Nami has water powers that helps with Cracker, to where like Brook is the only character in the world that can kill Big Mom because he has also a soul power. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, the thing is, so how One Piece is based on how it's been going on. Oda writes the enemies for Luffy, right?
Yeah. No, I get that.
But... Right, so it's like he writes the enemies for where they have a convenient flaw that Luffy can expose. And so like with Cracker, him being
like Luffy and Nella is like the perfect example.
Example. Whereas like he writes the enemies around Luffy, which I think sometimes it works, right? But then I feel like as it goes on, it becomes a bit redundant. Where it's like, okay, so Luffy's the only character that could have gotten out of this, like the Katakuri thing. Whereas like Katakuri fucking was about to suffocate him, and Luffy's the only character that would eat himself out of this and then come back. So it was just like. And then
Cracker, Kid can do that too, so
yeah,
man. And then Cracker also like with the 11 hours fight, run, repeat, and it was just like, all right, like I said, sometimes it comes off as clever, but then it's just like, all right, man. At some point, we gotta stop this convenience, but I don't see it stopping anytime soon because it's just what it is. So I think I've come to accept some of that shit. Where we'll talk about the Big Mom thing, but I guess first the Sanji transformation. And well, before I guess the speech that Sanji gave, it said in a viz, "This is a battle against an emperor of the sea. There may be times when you can't save lives if you're too stubborn, and there may be times when you can save lives if you just learn to swallow your pride." What did you guys
I think it was good. I mean, like, all trolling aside, this is the first chapter in a long time with Sanji in it that I actually enjoyed. So
I mean, for me, this was literally like even though like I have some things I would like to change about it, this is probably the best moment that Sanji's had in the entire series for me. I loved it.
I don't know about the entire series, but post time skip, I can agree with.
Well, I think the moments vary based on like I guess the purpose, right? This purpose was to show the outcome and the somewhat development from Whole Cake. That was the blatant goal of this, right?
The whole swallowing your pride thing is just like an amazing moment in general, right? Because to a certain extent, that's like the Zoro Mihawk thing, but like this is still a lower extent. But yeah, it's like the whole Zoro Mihawk.
You could say this is a bit deeper. And the reason why
I don't actually like. Here's the thing: I don't know if that's deeper. Like, I feel like the moment itself is amazing because like I have numerous gripes with Sanji's character, but this was one of them that I wanted to see addressed. Mm-hmm. But the way it was addressed kind of left me like I was really excited because I never thought Oda was going to like incorporate any kind of ideological change in his characters, and like this is what we're getting, which kind of goes back to the Luffy body thing, which I feel like Oda because me and Matt talked about this shit where it's like we kind of think like after Wano stuff's gonna change, and this could be like the beginning of Oda actually maybe trying to change his characters a bit, preparing for end game stuff and the story stuff. Yeah, but like the way in which it happened, I kind of wish this was something a bit more epic for Sanji, because like for me, I thought like this it's a really big deal for him to like do this, to admit it. And the stakes are so low. Like he's not. Well, the thing is, like, what's he fighting for? He's like not fighting for anything.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I have to say. So like the reason, like the thing is like it seems like it was put in a bad spot, even though it was like such a good like moment for Sanji. I feel like it could have been a lot better, right? Okay, because like take the Zoro. I get that. I don't want to compare like Zoro and Sanji, but it's gonna happen. So fuck it. Like take the Zoro situation, right, with Mihawk, right? That just came off of like Zoro getting like separated from his crew, and he's like fucking sitting there crying, like fuck, I can't do shit, like blah 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 blah. I need to get stronger. Like I need to be able to like live up to my captain's expectations. All this shit. And like there was like so much shit going into that to make that moment like amazing. And like this one is just like a random fight with Page One, and like
I think this is the first step though, Froob, where it's like throughout Whole Cake and how he despises his family, this was like just overcoming that and him putting it to action, right? Because throughout Whole Cake he was showing him just saying like overcoming what Germa did to him, and that's why I was saying it was a bit deeper, not as far as the moment, but just because like this was Germa was essentially Sanji pre-Zeph, right? And so I think Oda cleverly gave us this Germa backstory for Sanji to overcome for this exact moment. It's like, I don't know if it's a change in ideology, because the main thing we know Sanji for is like not hitting women, but Oda gave him something to overcome in Whole Cake. So I think it's viewed as development, but essentially it's just a reset of his character and just giving him a moment. I mean, I think it's dope, but as far as a comparison to like what Zoro did, where he was given his life, I mean, that's always difficult for me because Sanji was willing to do the same thing at the time.
Well, no, I'm talking about like when Zoro bowed down to Mihawk and he's like, train me.
Oh,
that's yeah, like because that's a pride-related thing. But like Froob was pointing out that it was a really big moment for Zoro, given the circumstances and who he was talking to. Where you compare this to page 1 in getting rid of his pride, where it's kind of like, well, okay.
No, I think he was just trying to see if he could do it, though. I think this is just like the first moment he could use it. So he's like, let me see if I can really do this.
No, but like, yeah, I agree with that. But like the circumstances, like he was throwing away his pride. It's kind of special.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think.
No, just real quick, Matt. The thing is why I think it's not as special is because this is secondary. What I mean is secondary. It's like Sanji's true pride rests on, like he said it several times, like Zeph is his true father. So him, as far as like what he would throw away, that would be a fucking huge thing. Is hitting
would be the women thing. Yeah, right. I agree with you, which is like. Yeah. We can just kind of go things. I feel like I kind of want that to be the second thing Sanji does. Like I still hold that. I would still like him.
I would like if something
a moment, hitting a woman.
Yeah, a moment, but like presents itself.
At the same time, though, I would have liked to have seen like we kind of get this because Sanji's like, just because I'm using their technology doesn't make me them or whatever. But like some people are like, the resolution between Sanji and the German was kind of like so.
Well, I think it was somewhat. I liked the resolution between Sanji and Germa because the thing is they kind of acknowledge each other without saying it. Like with the Germa after Sanji tells like Judge, you're not my father. He's like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. You're still a failure, but we're gonna save you. We're gonna help you guys. And then after Sanji gets captured, he accepts the help essentially by Germa, and so it's clear. It's clear as far as like there's a new respect there. And the thing is, Oda kind of used Reiju as well to kind of say these things that, of course, the brothers won't say. And I think as far as Judge, I think Judge is just stuck in as far as like who he is, where he was just lost as to like the qualities of Sanji and viewing them in a way that's resourceful, where he's like, the things that you do, I can't imagine you being a soldier for Germa. And that's why I felt like just the resolution overall was just perfect because...
Well, that's kind of what I'm talking about, Brago, is like you bring up a good point, but like that, like the change in ideology specifically from Judge wasn't finalized. Like that isn't something that was finalized because like at the end, whenever like they finally leave and get away from Sanji, Judge talks to Luffy about it and like, he makes that speech about how much Sanji sucks and how could you do this or whatever. Right. But it was kind of obvious from the context of that scene that he was like, all right, maybe this is on to something. It kind of seemed like his ideology was changing, but that wasn't made apparent to like Sanji.
Right. So I would
like to see like that's why I think Germa, if Germa's here, that's why I think that like the actual resolution to them like kind of be like, okay, we're good now, like actually on good terms instead of just like being on the same terms.
But Drizzt, I think Sanji didn't. I don't think Sanji cared about Judge changing at that point because Sanji gave him a chance actually when he first got to Whole Cake, and then Judge kind of broke that shit when he stabbed the soldier. He's like, "Yo, I actually thought there was like some good in you, but you're still the same fucking person." Where I think after that point, Sanji's like, "All right, fuck these people, fuck Judge, fuck Judge."
I think the fact that they both tried, they both played the hand in saving each other's lives is all that we need. We don't need a resolution with them talking.
It wouldn't be realistic.
We don't need that. And the thing is like him putting on the raid suit. So like last week, the chapter before this one, we all jumped the gun. We were like, oh, this is bad because we didn't see like that internal struggle, so on and so forth, and we got it with this chapter. So.
Brago was fucking foaming at the mouth to fucking get
I'm talking about the general consensus. I'm just talking about like
you're just talking about the community.
What was going around. Yeah. The community was so like as fuck.
After this chapter, we actually got that, and that's why I'm like, and that's what I'm trying to tell people as far as like this Big Mom shit goes. Oda, I think you should take things for like 2 chapters at a time. So let's take the Kaido thing. Remember whenever Luffy
he
punched
him
Kaido, whenever he punched him in the head,
everyone said it was
like,
the most trash shit ever.
Kaido's trash, Kaido's trash, Kaido's trash. And then look at what happened in the next chapter. Luffy gets one shot. Let me see. What are some more?
No, that's what I was saying, Matt.
From chapter 900. Chapter 900, when everybody was like, "Oh my gosh! Like, what happened with the Straw Hats? What happened with their ship?" And then we see what happened. So it's like the way that I look at it is, don't jump the gun. Just wait developments to happen.
Well, I think, Matt, sometimes it's for some people it's hard to not jump the gun just because
we're living in the moment.
They're living in the moment, and for one, they were like, if this is my story, I would never do this.
It's not their story, though.
I agree. I mean, obviously, right? But the thing is, for them, if this is my story, I would never do this. So for them to see a logical conclusion is not even possible because of how they're looking at the story.
Yeah, the whole thing with Big Mom is like, it's hard to go against his argument because it's true, and it's that Oda keeps doing Big Mom fucking so bad. Like, when you look at like people like Shanks, fucking Whitebeard, and Blackbeard, like he would never do these people like how he does Big Mom. Like,
one could argue every Yonko has significant flaws.
Yeah, but like there's flaws, and then there's Big Mom.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah.
Look,
the
this
thing
is the thing
more
is
exposition on Big Mom than any other Yonko.
But is it?
I mean, regardless,
it doesn't go hand in hand with her character, though.
Listen, there's like Big Mom.
The showing that Big Mom has does not influence the information that we've gotten about her character, and the thing that is bad, the thing that's bad about what Oda did is Oda put the Straw Hats in a situation where they were encountering a Yonko too fast. So you have to nerf her. You have to nerf her.
Well, the thing is, I think Big Mom is not going to be nerfed the rest of the arc.
Well, dude, I'm not even talking about this arc. I'm talking about Whole Cake, bro.
But the thing is, because of the situation how it was presented, it's like
exactly that's what I just said.
Right, but the thing is, it's like with that, we didn't logically expect for Big Mom to take down the Straw Hats, right? I mean,
but everybody's like, "Oh, Big Mom's trash and shit."
But then they're just okay. Big Mom, she was made to look like a fool several times throughout Whole Cake. But I think, yeah, it was to her detriment to make the Straw Hats escape. But I think logically going in, we all expected, okay, for them to go in here, Luffy's going to cause some commotion, and they're going to have to find some way to get out of her territory. I think the difference here with Kaido and why that probably isn't going to be necessary is because Kaido is probably going to fall. Or that's how I see it. Whereas like in Whole Cake, like not many people logically saw Big Mom falling. So it's like,
yeah, but like even already, bro, you see the difference in the way they're treated. Like, so for example, Big Mom comes to Wano, and it's like her big entrance scene, and the first thing that happens is that someone that's way below her power level fucking dunks on her. And what happens with Kaido is like the match at the 2 chapter thing.
Yeah.
Kaido gets attacked by Luffy, and then Luffy gets destroyed and taken to a prison. Big Mom gets the 2 chapter thing. She gets knocked off a waterfall and then gets amnesia.
Well, I think no, Drizzt, I agree, right? But I think this goes more into the characterization of the Yonko, where with Big Mom, say Luffy enters her territory, right? Big Mom has been shown to be inquisitive, right? Where she will play with you, where she even has a book of playthings. Where for Big Mom, knowing Luffy's in her territory, he's like, let's let the rat run around a little bit, and then we'll try to catch him. And like, let's have fun with it. Where Kaido is more of action, action, action. Fuck it, let's get to it.
Well, that's the thing about
Big
Kaido
Mom's like
is
that too, because in Whole Cake Island, she took things into her own hands and literally destroyed people when she was sane.
Right, no,
the difference here is that when Big Mom was sane here, it's like she wasn't the same.
No, that's what I'm saying, Drizzt. When Big Mom is out of her mind, she's a different person. When she is actually logical, or when she's herself, she plays around with things. Like we had the whole back and forth with her and Judge, where Judge somewhat insulted her. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm going to fuck you up anyway, so it's all good. I'm going to play your game for now. Where it's like, I feel like if Judge played that game with Kaido, it's like, oh, Kaido, you say you got Zoans here. I don't see no Zoans. Like Kaido's fucking blasting him across the fucking
but
ocean.
no, the Big Mom's done that too, Brago, because whenever she learned someone was in her treasure room, Smoothie was already down there. She's like, fuck Smoothie, I'm going down there because this bitch can't do anything, and she went down there herself.
That's what I'm saying, Drizzt, when it's dire, like things like that, like it matters. Like obviously the poneglyphs are important, but even when Luffy is roaming around in her territory, it didn't fucking matter because she viewed him as like a speck of sand. You know what I'm saying? It's like if it's extremely dire, she goes there. But
but Brago, it all has to come down to portrayal, right? Because at the end of the day, we know Big Mom and Kaido are relatively equal in strength.
Right.
I think everyone agrees with that. That's sane. Yeah. But when you look at just the portrayal of how Kaido is on Wano, it looks like he has shit on lockdown. Like fucking Luffy came in and he just fucking. I don't think they are different though. I just think that
they're completely different. I mean they're Yonko, and the thing is, like you said, based on how they've been portrayed, you still acknowledge that they're around the same strength, right? But the thing is, as far as Oda plays more with Big Mom's character because you can do that. Just the same way Oda plays with Sanji's character because of his characterization. You can do that. Like Oda uses Sanji for these things that he probably can't use Zoro for because of how Zoro's been characterized.
Right.
So it's just, I feel like it's like we want all the Yonko to be badass. Like, all right, fucking Luffy invades our territory. Big Mom comes, Elbaf spear, get it, like lock him up, and it's just like throughout the story, Oda has like had these characters where they're action, had these characters where they play around, had these characters where it's like they're kind of in the middle. And I feel like with the Yonko, they're going to be the same way. Whereas just like with Kaido's just more action based.
Sure, I understand what you mean, Brago, but I just feel like with Big Mom, it's just too much at this point.
No, I mean I agree, but I feel like people feel the same about Sanji. Where it's like, come on.
Yeah, man. I don't like Sanji either. So
I mean, I hear that, but it's like I understand. Like, well, for some characters, Oda protects because it's just like you can't take away that mystique that they have.
Right, I get it.
Like for Zoro, like you can't have Zoro fucking doing the shit that Sanji's doing. Like, you just can't do that. But like you said, it doesn't take away from her strength. I didn't like the King thing personally, just because.
Oh, I don't have a problem with the King thing. I have a problem with the amnesia shit, personally.
Well, we get to the amnesia shit, but as far as the King thing, the problem I had with the King thing was not a Big Mom problem, but I guess her kid's problem.
Yeah, I had this argument with Steve-O, but
that's a Big Mom problem, and that's a kid problem.
The thing is, I don't feel like that's Big Mom's like responsibility.
Bro, listen. If Big Mom is able to literally destroy the Straw Hat ship from a completely different island,
yeah.
And dude, why can't she stop somebody from hitting the fucking ship, and she's on it? That dude, it is inexcusable that Big Mom was able to do nothing, and that nobody was on the ship.
Let's look at it. Well, for Big Mom though, the ship is going up the waterfall. As it's going up, King perfectly times it and knocks it over as it's coming up the waterfall.
Yeah, the thing is it's like it's literally perpendicular, and it probably happened within a split second.
Right, so exactly. Like, the animation is probably going to be like super quick as far as like him doing it. My issue with it is just that. Like, go back to Whitebeard. Whitebeard never really had to protect himself from certain characters because his commanders were there. And they stepped in front of a lot of things. So it's just like, for Big Mom being there, and I look at Smoothie, like, how, like, first of all, not even just because the king, the boat got flipped over, like, how do you lose her? Like, how do you just lose Big Mom? So, I mean...
Yeah, that's the one thing I can agree with. It's like, how the fuck do you just let Big Mom?
Also, another thing is like, so someone brought this up. It was on my timeline. I forget who said it, so I can't like credit them. But they pointed out that this thing kind of happened whenever Jinbei punched Big Mom off the ship, but Prometheus was there to catch her. Where was Prometheus here?
That's what I was saying.
Like, that's something I don't really like. If he's there, then is he on a secret mission or something? I don't know,
dude. It's just trash. Like, it's like that whole situation. I just don't agree with that. Like, for one, like Brago says, you got plenty of times where the vice captains or the crewmates protect the captain. It's like we've heard Zoro and Sanji do that.
Remember it happened on Fishman Island
plenty of times. Exactly. Like, you don't you don't have the right.
Zoro said that to Pika, right?
Yeah, he said that to him. He said, "My captain doesn't have business with you." Yeah, like nigga,
bro.
you need to square up with me. like you're not even in his league, bro.
Yeah.
Like, don't even look his way.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at the kids. Like, what? Who is there? Pedos.
No, the bad part of that is also like that happens, and you just see Big Mom's fat ass
just falling out.
Yes, bro. She just falling.
I'm like, why is she the only one?
Nobody tried to help her.
But then,
nothing.
If we try to dig deep into our headcanon, did they do this on purpose?
No.
No, I hear you. But the thing is, like, the kids, like, remember when Big Mom started rampaging and Smoothie was running away from her? They seemed like so overwhelmed, like, oh my fucking god.
No, dude, literally, if Katakuri was there, I guarantee you Oda's having Katakuri protect Big Mom.
Oh my god.
Bro, like, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
if
no doubt.
There,
no
bro,
doubt.
Like,
no doubt.
Nigga, Katakuri is like, yo.
Because those are one of those characters.
I already see, like, King is about to knock us off.
Yep.
So, bro, Katakuri would have been up in the air, like, what's up?
I agree 100%. If Katakuri was there, that I think a lot of the arguments could be a lot different.
Yeah, but that's conveniently why he's not there.
The thing is though is that you're trying to convince me that Katakuri's observation hockey is so much better than Smoothies and all of these other people's, bro, that they can't even see this shit happening. Like, I'm not saying
but what makes this even more crazy, Matt, is that Katakuri's observation, it seems to be better than Big Mom's as well, right? Better than anybody else in the crew.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Right? But Luffy was able to get there in 11 hours.
Well, the thing is, no, wait. Let's be careful with that, bro. Because look, what the anime did was made it seem what the anime did, and with Rayleigh's exposition, is that Luffy knew about people that could see into the future before he met Katakuri. Okay,
really put him on game.
Yeah, he put him up on game about that, and then essentially it's like, okay, Luffy, you're gonna get to that point eventually, but you know, you need your hockey to bloom in battle to do so. And his hockey has been blooming in battle, but the thing that me and Drizzt were talking about in the last stream was that this shit literally came out of nowhere. Like, if we would have got if we would have got the Rayleigh exposition about being able to see into the future, whenever he explained
that should have happened fighting Dofi.
Whenever he was fighting Dofi, or anytime but the fight. But that category fight would have been perfect, because it just happened during the Katakuri fight
versus somebody with observation hockey.
That can see the future, and then it's like, oh yeah, let me conveniently place these Rayleigh flashbacks, so now Luffy can start seeing into the future. It's like, bro,
I guess to kind of justify it, maybe just like he never really needed it, because in the fights in the New World, Horty Jones, nah. Caesar, nah. I mean, he hasn't really fought anybody where he felt like he would need the observation hockey on that level.
So, Brago, you telling me him fighting against Dofi, where Dofi was literally like, bro, do you remember when Luffy tried to do the Grizzly Magnum?
Yeah.
And this nigga Dofi literally, like, he soared through the Grizzly Magnum, and he need this nigga Luffy in his chest, bro.
Yeah,
and
but the thing is like, when we talk about, like, Katakuri's whole thing is that he's an observation hockey master, right? So, like, Virgo's whole thing, obviously to a way lower extent, was that he's an armament hockey master. So it's like, that was like Katakuri's big thing. Like, Doflamingo isn't really like a master. He's kind of like a jack of all trades.
Yes, so with Katakuri, like, Luffy would have zero chance if he didn't unlock this observation hockey. Like, zero.
Okay, but this, bro, look,
he didn't really need it versus Dofi. I'm saying.
No, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'm just trying to.
He didn't need to see the future, but what I'm saying is it could have been hinted at. So he could have said, he could have said, like, yo, I need to observation hockey a little bit better so that I can land better hits. So
you're right, because it would have been perfectly placed after Dofi said, "Yeah, you're strong, but you're not fast enough." And it's like, if you had said, if it got into flashback as far as like sensing where people are going to be,
right? Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No,
Like,
yeah, I agree.
he was saying that Luffy's hits, they had weight,
Yeah.
but they weren't fast enough. And then if they were fast enough, then they didn't have enough weight behind them. So then it's like, okay, well, let me be a little bit more efficient in the way that I actually fight.
Yeah, and another thing is like, I feel like people completely underestimate how good Katakuri's observation hockey is, to the point where, like, I feel like most people, like, he might be like, I don't know, I'll just throw a number out there. He might be literally top 5 observation hockey in the One Piece world.
It's the best in the series. Besides Fujitora and Katakuri have the best.
Yeah, like when I think of, like,
say Shanks is up there.
Yeah, when I think about people that probably have better observation, it's probably like literally like Shanks.
Yeah, I would think he's top 5 as well.
It's people that we haven't seen.
Yeah, Mihawk and like maybe.
I would say he's top 5.
It once again, it's people that we haven't seen.
But you know why? You know why people are thinking Katakuri's observation isn't that good? It's because of how casual it made it seem for Luffy to attain it. Where it's like Luffy's like, I wish I could do that. And it was
and that's another thing. I think you're kind of overestimating the point to where Luffy got his observation hockey. Like, I think that he definitely, of course, improved it in that battle. But like, Luffy's not doing the fucking Katakuri thing where he's fucking in the anime where he's like ding, and then he's like
no, right. But the thing is,
he started to do that.
He's sensing. Where like Katakuri sees it, but Luffy's sensing. Like Katakuri literally sees like what's going to happen, where Luffy's sensing what's going to happen.
Yes, Matt, I understand that Luffy started to do that, but at the same time, Katakuri can do it on a whim and to a way higher extent. Luffy was getting to that point, but he's not. He's not
there yet. He's not there.
No, he's not there yet. But I guarantee you, by the next time that we see Luffy fight, he's gonna be doing that.
Be there.
Because
not the thing.
Maybe
I don't think you ever gonna get that,
because look, they said that Luffy's was different. Luffy senses. He senses intent. So
I think Luffy at some point is gonna have after images.
That's what it was showing.
No, I'm talking about consistently.
And then if you look at what Katakuri said, how
you remember, like, you ever seen? Well, you don't watch Hunter x Hunter. I'm talking like Killua's like he has like a flash step in which like he's walking around you in a circle and there's just like a bunch of after.
Oh yeah. No, I remember that.
Where it's like for Luffy, it's like because he would be sensing where you're going to be, it's like for him moving so fast to kind of throw you off. It's like after images because we saw it versus Rayleigh in the anime.
So like misdirection.
Yeah, like versus Rayleigh in the anime where like when Rayleigh hit him, Rayleigh hit like an after image and Luffy had already moved to the next spot. So I think that may be the next thing for Luffy. And of course, he has to compete with Blackbeard at some point. So
I mean, but I don't think Blackbeard is going to be like a crazy hockey master.
No. I'm talking about
is going to have efficient hockey. But
no, why I say he has to have that is just like he's going to be going against possibly the strongest Zone, the strongest Paramecian, the strongest Logia. So it's like for him, he has to have like hockey on another level.
Yeah.
To compete with Blackbeard.
Well, yeah, that's what Rayleigh was alluding to. Rayleigh was alluding to like there's some people that specialize in one type of hockey, but then there's some people that that they hit the threshold and they go past that because they are masters of all 3 types.
Yeah,
and that's definitely the route that Luffy's going, because Luffy's probably going to get some crazy ornament hockey after, like, during Wano or something.
What y'all think about Sanji's mask?
It was dope.
I think it was pretty lit.
That was dope. I thought it was
everything about it was pretty dope, honestly, dude.
I was watching a lot.
Yeah,
he talked about his hair.
Yeah, like the hair thing, literally, like people are like, of course he looks like EGG, it's his twin. Like, no, but like the hairstyle is exactly.
It doesn't do that for anybody else though. Like,
yeah, why? Did
I liked it. I mean, I liked it. Like, he looks like EGG.
Oh, do you think
my
EGG
favorite
was
using
this suit for certain missions?
What'd you say?
Do you think it's possible EGG could have used this suit? But it has to be like it's like a genetic thing. Only he can use it, right?
Well, no. Yeah. Like, someone pointed this out to me, and it's like because Law knew about the ability.
It's been passed down, right?
It's been passed down for generations because someone told me. I can't verify this, but someone told me that like this goes back like a couple hundred years thing.
Yeah, that's what somebody said.
Like the raid suits.
That's what somebody left a comment as well on a video.
Someone suggested the idea is like, what's the identity of the person who isn't the owner of that suit? Like, who is the last person to use it?
Right. So like it's generations of Germa who was before like Judge's generation and all that shit. So, yeah. But I was just saying, like, was EGG using it for like certain missions so that he could, because being invisible, like that's convenient as hell, as far as for certain missions. So I fucking love the design. The fight versus Page 1, I felt like it was okay.
I mean,
it wasn't amazing,
yeah.
but I mean, it did some things that, like, I told you before, like when we were doing the discussion and after you read the chapters, that it did things that surprised me, but that I liked. Which was the fact that, like, so it looks like there's a lot of room because, like, Sanji's obviously testing out, see what he can actually do with it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like your standard shonen power up, where he gets the power up and then one shots the dude that he's fighting.
Yeah. Nope.
Because, like, people were arguing this, and, like, Sanji hit him a lot and he could hit him whenever he wanted to, but it didn't look like he did damage. Really.
And
like,
the thing is,
Page 1 isn't like limbering, like, oh, he's not like bleeding or anything.
Sanji didn't really take damage either, though.
Both didn't take damage, so it's not like it's a completely one-sided, smackdown.
I think this is perfect because, one, you don't just automatically just write off the Flying Six, right? Because if Sanji one-shots this guy, it's like, okay, here we go, another fucking faction of Kaido's crew is trash. That's what people are gonna say.
If anything, it's making Sanji look really good because Sanji's sitting up here, he's just casually talking and thinking to himself while all of this is happening. Like, I don't know how anybody is saying that Sanji looks even remotely bad in this situation. I think this is the best that Sanji has looked in so long. I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, the thing is it's just people expect, like Brago said, people expect Sanji to put the raid suit on and then just one shot Page 1.
Yeah,
but
it's much better.
It's clearly gonna happen.
Do you guys think Law is being is just flat out lying about being a fan of Germa? The fact that one was saying, like, he knew so much about them. Like, we used to read the comics, he's like saying everything.
I mean,
like,
laws.
I could see that being a lie.
Laws from North Blue, Germa like conquered the North Blue. It makes sense.
Right. But the thing is, he gave like fucking backstory on like the suit, like the people.
The reason I think you have a point, Brago, is that, like, even when it came to like the robots thing, like Oda drew what Law would look like if he's doing it. And Law's kind of like a tsundere, where like he won't say he's fanboying over something, but then he'll fanboy over it.
Won't say
I think that might be the case with the Germa thing, where it's like, the Power Rangers laser beams. It's like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. All men love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because he has like the look on his face, like it's like a sweat bubble. Like, I was a regular.
Oh wait, are you saying that like he actually is a fan? Is that what you're trying to...
Yes.
Okay.
Like he's an actual fan, but he's like being tsundere.
He's like, I hated Germa.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you remember whenever like the ninja thing was happening with Rizzo.
Yeah,
and was a part of that shit too.
That's why he was like. But the thing is, he was giving like, his name's Stealth Black. It's like
he's like this. I got the 3rd edition.
I remember that he was like, like when Rizzo wasn't trying to do it, and then Law was like, just hurry up and
hurry up, and he did it. That shit was so good. I like when Oda does that with like characters like Law. Kind of takes them out of their
it means so much more on Law, dude.
Yeah, it takes them out of their comfort zone. Like I said, a part of the anime I always love is like Law and Zoro when they went to chop wood in Zoe. And then Zoro,
that was hilarious.
Zoro gets lost. He's like, yo, you're going the wrong way. He's like, I don't got time for this shit. Like, it fucking just rooms him back to the fucking
bro, the funniest part about Law.
Wait, what? That happened in the anime?
Yeah.
Oh man, I never saw that.
The funniest part about Law to me and like his interaction with the Straw Hats is like when they're doing some shit and then Law's like, yo, let's just fucking leave these motherfuckers, and then Usopp's like, yo, Luffy would never say that to us.
He's like Usopp is looking at Law like, yo, I could never be your fucking follower. Like, you're nothing like Luffy, because Luffy's like fucking happy-go-lucky, go with the flow, and Law's like, nah, if you get captured, you're dying with your mouth closed. And
right? And then the Usopp's like, yo,
like,
what this nigga on?
and then that was the moment Sanji's like, don't worry, Usopp, I'll protect you, which is kind of weird, right? Where it's like, I think Sanji's going out of his way to prove himself to his crew, because Sanji's normally like, yo, I don't give a fuck about y'all. Like, where the women at? Like, you can save yourself.
What I'm saying,
you can save yourself. Where like this time Usopp said that, he's like, I'll save you if that's the case. That's different.
Well, I like it. I think that it goes hand in hand with the fact that like he left.
And I think is some guilt still there, of course, because Pedro died and everything that happened in Whole Cake. Where I'm starting to believe not the thing that Zoro leaves the crew, essentially, but I believe that there's going to be a moment with Sanji and Zoro where not Zoro scolding him, but just he needs some reassuring of, all right, you really with us? Like, you know,
and they fucking make out.
Not that far, but just a moment with Zoro and Sanji, because they've acknowledged each other by talking to other people in a way. Like, I don't think they've ever come like face to face and acknowledge each other. How would you guys feel about that? If it was like a moment in which they acknowledge each other, and it's like a moment of just like straight up just being honest.
Well, the thing is, like, I feel like it has to be more than that, because that's kind of like a slice of life moment,
right?
Where like, because like even in this chapter, the rest of the crew is going to Ibizu Town, which is where Zoro is,
right? And
then Sanji staying behind,
right?
So Oda keeps separating or emphasizing that they're not supposed to meet for some reason, and I don't think it's just going to be for like a random Nakama moment, because otherwise it'd be kind of like a redo of like the Luffy Zoro like meeting each other and hugging kind of thing.
But well, like, not like that. Not that blatant, because that's not Zoro's. That's not.
I'm not talking about hugging, but like something to that degree where it's like maybe like a silent nod, Zoro like nods.
Oh well, the thing is, what it would be is like they were literally walking past each other, right? And Zoro's like, "Good to have you back. We wouldn't have gotten like we can't go further without you." Something like simple as that, where it's like an acknowledgement, because everything that he said on Zoe was kind of like, all right, we don't give a fuck. We can't go after Sanji. Just let him be. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, that's more so speaking of his fear of the Yonko as opposed to like how he really feels about Sanji.
We'll see. It depends on what stance Zoro has, because like you just said, the Whole Cake Island shit got to be talked about at some point.
Yeah.
So it just depends on like, because like there's only really two answers. Like Zoro either takes his side or doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
I think
another thing, there's a bunch of things going on there, because okay, for one, I feel like that would be a lot more realistic if like Big Mom actually ended up coming to Wano and like fucking shit up. But like it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. It seems like she's gonna be an ally if anything, because like the tension could be a lot higher if like I could see Zoro getting really angry at Sanji for bringing Big Mom into everything if like she got involved with the whole Wano thing. So he's like, you fucking idiot, like look what you've done, type of thing. And also another thing is, it's like, if Zoro leaves the crew, like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Is he like just gonna sit on Wano and chill?
Bro,
like,
you can already ask that now, because Zoro's not doing shit. But like the Ryuma plotline was the first thing that was introduced to Zoro whenever we first saw him, when he was brought back into the light.
But the thing is, he could leave the crew while being on Wano and reunite with the crew while they're still on Wano. You see what I'm saying? Like, just a momentary leave.
Yeah, but I guess like he's just gonna leave the crew and just drink fucking sake in the casinos.
Yo, I think Matt got to say something. When you say Matt?
Yeah, sorry, Matt.
I was just saying, bro, I hate this argument where people are saying that it's Sanji's fault for getting involved with Big Mom. That's Luffy's fault.
Yes, Luffy challenged her on Fishman Island.
Okay, Luffy challenged her on Fishman Island, so he initiated all the beef. It's not, bro, Big Mom didn't come to Whole Cake or didn't come to Wano and say, Sanji at? Where's Vince Smoke Sanji? She's saying, where is Straw Hat Luffy?
But I guess to Zoro's point, Big Mom wouldn't have come to Wano at that time if Luffy didn't go to Whole Cake, because she was like, she didn't view him as a threat yet.
Yeah, people aren't. When people make that argument, they're not talking about that. They're talking about like him being a Vince Smoke inherently, and what he did on Zoe.
And honestly, like, okay, if you guys were in Sanji's shoes, like, what's the route you take?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of different things, right?
I'm talking about like on Zoe, when Capone pulls up, you know, the thing with Zeph, your family. You haven't told the Straw Hats about your family. What's the route you take?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say what the fuck I would do, but I'm just saying, like, from a story perspective, what I would have preferred to him to do would be to put his fucking crew, like, above everything else. Like, that's, like, definitely, like, the
I mean, he somewhat did that.
Well, here's the thing.
No, he definitely
in my opinion, Sanji did everything to the worst possible degree that he possibly could.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree.
The way he left, it's the rationale, like, it's like Sanji obviously wasn't in the right mentality. That doesn't make what he did optimal. Where it's like he left in a situation where it's basically he was being kidnapped. It's like, yeah, don't worry about it kind of thing, which is the exact thing you don't do when your crew just went through like a Robin stuff not that long ago. And also it's the fact where it's like the entire situation, it's like Sanji took it unto himself. Like this is kind of thing where it's like Sanji is self-sacrificial, but he's self-sacrificial to the point where it's almost selfish. because he doesn't trust the crew to solve the problem with him.
I agree with that. I mean, that's part of his character in which, okay, so it's like somebody say they're hungry, but like I'm not hungry, but you know your crew is going to feed you, but you're saying it like it's like you're acting like you don't know your crew, like saying I'm going to leave, don't worry about me. You know they're going to worry about you, so just leaving abruptly like that, it's essentially saying come after me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, with that, I don't agree with him leaving, but I think...
Yeah, and
I think this is past. It was just like, yo, how do I handle this shit?
He had to go because obviously like there was high stakes at that point in time.
Yeah.
But the thing he just could have handled it way better.
Yeah, and I also feel like he could have put the crew above Zeph. I don't know. I feel like that would have been more
hard.
noble.
The thing is, the reason why it's hard for Sanji to put anything above Zeph is that just like Zeph is fundamentally a part of like who he is.
Yeah,
it's just,
also,
but at the same time though, like if you want to argue from the sense, because like I think Sanji's very, very smart, and even in high stress situations, even if it involves him, I think that a lot of his intelligence should show. Which is why I kind of had an issue with Whole Cake Island to a degree, because I thought Sanji was actually way better than the things that he actually did.
But Drizzt, I think with the Vince mode,
but like no, for this it's like, so Sanji, they went through the entire Robin thing where Robin did the exact same thing Sanji did in Zoe, where she valued all of these things as like, okay, they can't do this. Sanji did the exact same thing, and he didn't put trust into Luffy to actually help him with his issues.
You know what I think? This is my headcanon.
Yeah,
somewhat verified by the story. That Sanji he was suffering from like some PTSD, where when he interacted with the Vinsmoke again, it's like he somewhat became childlike in decisions and how he was acting. Everything was basic and simple, where he still felt like a prisoner of the Vinsmoke, where after just hearing the name Vinsmoke, he went into a state of shock where he's like, all right, I gotta go back. And that's how I kind of looked at like some of the decisions he was making, where from the handcuffs thing, where it's like there's a moment where he's questioning Pudding, like, Pudding, do you have the key to the handcuffs? Like, damn, if anything happens, like Luffy's gonna have to fight Big Mom. All right, I guess I'm stuck then. Going to Big Mom to ask Big Mom to help and say, okay, don't hurt my friends, and believing Big Mom isn't gonna hurt his friends. It's like everything was just like childlike and just like simple, where I feel like Sanji was just suffering from just some PTSD because of his family, what he went through.
Well, yeah, but like as I said, like it's a very similar situation with Robin, because you can say the exact same thing happened with Robin. Because whenever Blue Note came after they landed on Water 7, he was like, she pre-nard, and then it was basically the same thing as like them telling Sanji about Zeph. But like the way she handled it was still like basically it was confirmed by the crew. It's like, yeah, I mean, you did that, but eventually somewhere down the line, you put faith into us.
Yeah, I think what happened was, after he got there, it was some internal struggle as far as like what he was doing.
Yeah, and
then Oda kind of placed convenient plot things to kind of somewhat rationalize why he would not take some better actions. Like after, he was like, "All right, fuck it, I'm about to leave here." He said, "Hurry up so we can get this wedding on with, so I can leave." Right, and then Judge places the handcuffs on him. He's like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. And that conveniently leaves him there. And then with the handcuffs, Big Mom has the key. So then for his rationale, all right, for us to get out of here, Luffy has to take on Big Mom and the entire Big Mom Pirates for us to get out of here. And
yeah,
it's like,
but another thing is wasn't like the fucking like the whole thing with like was like Luffy's crew would now be part of Big Mom's crew because like of like the whole like wedding shit.
Yeah. Well, Sanji was essentially saying fuck all that. He was saying fuck all that. Like, I just want to take part in the wedding.
Well, yeah, I know, but at the same time, like he's just like, I don't know. I felt like he fucked over the crew so hard with like a lot of that. Not saying that it was an easy decision whatsoever, but it was just like a lot. I
don't think he planned to stay until after the handcuffs.
Well, no, like as I said, everything Sanji could possibly do wrong, he did it.
Yeah.
Because like you can tell from his mental state. Because like this is something that I think was absolutely a horrible thing to do. He made up for it, but at the time, like there's no excusing it. Is like after he did his thing to Luffy, which was the wrong thing to do at the time, but he had to do it. He thought he had to do it. Is that he left Luffy and Nami there, and then as they're going through the carriage, everything that he did, he sees the entire Rage army going after them, and he kind of like he blocked that from his mind to not worry about it because he didn't want to think about his actions. Because remember, like later on, like they talk about it, and he ignores it.
Yeah, I think everything Sanji was doing, he was trying to rationalize it by saying, "I'm doing it for them." Right?
Yeah, which was actually wrong in a sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't for them. He was doing it for himself because he wasn't over the shit that he went through with his family.
Yeah,
it's like he had personal shit he had to take care of. Okay,
not to be a party pooper, but we are not talking about this chapter whatsoever.
We've been dipping in and out.
I mean, there's still a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff that I think is actually interesting to talk about is like future plot points regarding.
Yeah, I mean,
we talked about the amnesia shit. We talked about Sanji in the raid suit.
We didn't really touch on that.
And then there's not really much to talk about.
Well, okay, so the thing I would talk about is probably either one, like the things coming back from Whole Cake Island, which would be Jinbei, Germa, Katakuri, and Pudding.
Yes,
because all of those are like they could play vital roles, especially given how like Katakuri is basically just like everyone's god at this point in time, so he's gonna have some role if he's here.
Yes,
I don't see
the resolution with Pudding and Sanji getting back his memories of the kiss would play a vital role in whatever the hell happens. And then if Germa's there, assuming that they got taken along for the ride, which I don't know, maybe they did. Who knows?
Maybe they didn't. Yeah,
they would have left their entire kingdom behind, I suppose.
Yeah. The thing with Germa, as far as them being there, it's just that it's hard to find true purpose for them other than being just like somewhat fanboys of Sanji using the suit better than they ever.
I don't know. There could be another ally in the list of 100 allies that are needed to
Germa is absolutely not there. The only way I could see Germa being there is if like Big Mom like literally fucking captured them and like brought them with for some reason.
Like the thing, Froob, is like at the end of Whole Cake Island, like both Germa and Jinbei and the Sun Pirates were like, basically all in the same location when Big Mom showed up.
Yeah.
If Big Mom came here with Jinbei, like why wouldn't Germa be there too?
Yeah, Judge was just fighting Snack.
Oh no, I mean I agree.
Yeah. There were.
I'm just
at
saying,
some point. Something had to have happened, right? Like, and the thing is, what's most logical? I wouldn't be surprised if the fisherman got away and Germa got captured, but then essentially that would mean Big Mom has Germa's technology anyway, right?
Yeah. All I'm trying to say is that literally, like, I don't know. It just like there's no reason for Germa to be there unless they were captured. Like,
I don't know. With the whole entire raid suit thing here, is that there can be other plot lines, I think, involved with them.
Probably.
Because so, like, here's the thing, right? So if it depends on what you think, honestly, because if you think that Big Mom, everything with her is going to be resolved, then why not have the actual history of the Germa solved as well? Because that was also introduced with Big Mom. It's like, what's the actual truth behind, what happened with the world government? What happened with the Germa, Double Six Kingdom? What was Judge going to finish talking about whenever he was basically going all crybaby mode with Big Mom?
I don't think. Oh. Go ahead.
You're not good for it. I was about to talk about the dude on the whale when they when he confronted Robin. Why is he on a whale? I didn't notice this.
There's a guy on a whale?
He's on a fucking fish.
I'll pull this up.
This dude is on a fish. Gladius? The Gladius lookalike?
I've never seen that.
Why is he on a fish? What is this? Like, I didn't notice this at all.
Oh, that's a catfish.
He's on a catfish. Why the fuck is he on a fish? Bro, there's no way Robin walked in and didn't notice a fish, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
no, that fish is a high tier ninja.
Like, and then you have fucking big ass Binky from Arthur on the ceiling. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't have much to say about this Robin thing. It's just a bunch of characters for us to fight and have clashes with. Oh shit,
he is on a fucking. He's on like a whale or something.
Yeah. The most interesting thing from this is like, honestly, like the vibes I'm getting is like, I don't think these guys are like of the utmost importance, but like the thing that kind of sticks out to me is what the fuck is this guy's name? Fukuro Kuju.
Yeah.
Just like people just were talking about his head, because that kind of brings back like Vegapunk / kind of vibes, or like the alien head people. Yeah, which was in the cover story as well.
Banshu captain. Because I think he may be.
He's got those Anel ears.
What my thinking is that, what's his name? The Shogun Orochi.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't strike me as the analytical type. Where he, for me, my headcanon was that he has people around him that kind of was the masterminds behind this entire coup and this entire situation. And Fukuro Kuju, he may be one of those guys, along with Koyoshiro, where those guys were the real masterminds behind Orochi's ascension.
Yeah, there's probably people like that are ahead of like the manufacturing places that actually like make the weapons. Because it depends. I mean, if Shogun Orochi is exactly what he looks like he's going to be,
he doesn't strike as like he has a temperament to like come up with like these like master strategies and like to be like this consistent for 2 decades. It just doesn't seem like him. He has to have a solid team around him, and like he has a personal ninja force, which may be a way for them to watch him. But as far as the Robin thing, who knows where that might go? Yeah,
like I don't know. People probably might get mad at us, be like, "Oh, there's so many things you could talk about the Robin thing," but I mean, it's just
what do you want? I am not fucking like gonna hype up any warriors at all unless they're commanders. Like we've gotten to the point where it's like we like all the Yonko's crew has been disrespected so hard outside of like the very top of the top to where it's like I don't care about any of these people really. Maybe there's one of them that's gonna be decent, but
we'll see. People are gonna be mad at us for what?
Well, the thing is, every time we kind of gloss over certain One Piece things, like the Robin thing, we're saying, nah, you know what, it is what it is. And then sometimes people get upset because you guys could have talked about this, you guys could have talked about this. So that's what Froob was.
And like especially with the Robin thing, because Robin obviously has like people got mad love for Robin for good reasons.
She's looking for the Poneglyphs. What Poneglyphs do you think she's looking for?
Robin, they're like, this is the greatest thing ever, and you guys aren't talking about it.
Do you guys think there's a hidden door there somewhere? Probably.
People are talking about Robin like 1v however many guys are here
by herself.
No, we just gotta let that shit develop.
Just gotta let it play out. I think some things you can stretch it and add headcanon into it, but I feel like right now it's safe to just like let the Robin
let it
play out.
Just let the shit breathe.
The Big Mom thing, I thought it was fucking hilarious when Big Mom was face down on the sand. I thought it was like a funny ass fucking panel.
Have you seen people in BDA, dude? They have that panel of Big Mom and they have the panel of Zoro lying down from the Yeti Cool Brothers in the snow. It looks exactly the same.
Discord never fucking fails. But I just thought it was so hilarious. Like this, like one of the strongest pirates in the One Piece verse, face first on the fucking sand.
Yeah, and Chopper's like fucking getting ready to execute her.
Chopper's going crazy because Chopper, he's thinking back to like when Big Mom pulled up on that ship. Now Big Mom wakes up with amnesia, and the community was mostly upset and mostly like, "Yo, why is this happening to Big Mom again?" When I saw it, it was just like, "Oh, okay," because it's not unexpected to the point like, okay, if it would happen to Yonko, it would happen to Big Mom, but it's just like where it could possibly go is really, really bad.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing: it could be really bad, but I also think that's the way it was introduced. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, which is I think is the reason why a lot of people have the issue. It's like okay, maybe they can be good from it. The way it's introduced, like I don't think there's any way you could say like it wasn't like ridiculously contrived considering all the things Big Mom has gone through.
So you're saying it was contrived because of what happened with King and her kids?
Yeah, what happened with King? Because like Big Mom's gone through so much stuff in Whole Cake Island, and like this is what causes amnesia. Her falling off the waterfall.
Someone was saying that she was like drowning. And she washed up on shore, and she didn't have oxygen for a long time, and that's
applying real world stuff. Yeah. Like every single person, like her entire crew's gonna be suffering the same thing.
Yeah, but she's like,
and Luffy was the same as well.
I saw a funny.
She's like 90 years old, dog. She's probably suffering.
She's only 64.
Somebody said that could it be dementia?
What?
Dementia? I mean, no. Okay, like you're trolling.
No, somebody did say that.
No way, dude.
Somebody asked that.
Well, whoever.
I mean, it's not that serious, dog. Like this isn't fucking real life. It's not like we're trying to fucking diagnose Big Mom.
If Big Mom has dementia, then wait, we've been trying to diagnose Big Mom since Whole Cake Island, trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with her.
We clearly know, like something is going on with something happens to her where she loses her memory or she forgets shit. Clearly,
I mean, for me personally, like I'm just speaking me personally, like the reason like what's wrong with her is boring more than like what happened, like speaking about like what happened and what the implications are, because like
what do you mean?
Well, it's like Why did Big Mom lose her memory? Was it because she fucking fingered her ass on the way down when she was falling? It's like, I don't really care why she lost her memory. It's more like, like,
I mean,
it's more like what happened. It's more like what happens after, or as a result of her losing her memory, and what's going to be the catalyst for her getting her memory back, and the
right. So you're saying you don't care about the result, Froob, not the action.
Well, yeah, because it's like we can sit here and talk for like years, like, oh, maybe Pudding fucking while they were falling down, like
did a panel like that.
Memory,
Pudding saying pulling out the memories. And then putting Luffy's a friend.
I think that is wild. That is wild. That so in the stream with Roger, when Roger joined, he was like, he went back and he looked at the panels, and there's no way that Pudding could have done anything. And I'm like, dude, obviously, like, Oda's not. I mean, I didn't, but if like that's the thing about wanting a bone thrown at you, with Oda, that he doesn't have to show that for you to come to that conclusion. Like, okay, Pudding was probably on the ship. Pudding probably saw a chance. Like, okay, I know this is where Sanji-san is. I know this is where the Straw Hats are. Let me help them. And let me erase her memory.
While the ship was falling down into the sea, man.
No, it's not. No, it's not, bro. Listen. It is very possible.
You, Matt.
It is very possible, bro. That like we don't know how long Big Mom was laying there on the ground. No, we don't know how long she was laying there on the beach.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing, Matt, right? Yeah, I understand that. So while she's knocked out, someone could have tampered with it. But like, with the context and the tone at the ending of Whole Cake Island, I do not think that's a prerogative for Pudding to do, especially given that there has been no plot set up for her interaction with the Straw Hats right now.
Yeah,
like, I don't think that's the first thing on Pudding's mind. It's like, I got to figure out a way to, yada yada.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, look, if they're going to Whole Cake Island, or if they're going to Wano from Whole Cake Island to destroy Luffy, I mean, like, Pudding doesn't have a chance to really take Big Mom's memories because she's always around Big Mom's always like around her kids and shit like that. She's always around the other commanders.
Yeah, but like when we last left Pudding, though, she was done. Like, her entire life was wrecked. I don't think she's like, nope, I'm back to trying to be proactively helpful in the plot.
Yeah, I think at this point, Pudding is like thinking about Pudding, where, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, how can I better myself and probably get out of here like Lola did?
So y'all think that Pudding has nothing to do with Big Mom losing her memory?
I think Pudding might have something to do with something in the future, but I don't think she's in any way responsible for this.
This.
I'm not going to say there's a 0% chance, but it's not something that I would
I'm not going to say 0, but it's like, for Pudding to pull off some ninja shit while Big Mom is falling and everything.
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty telegraphed what happened to me personally. Like, the thing is to me, it's like, why would Oda, like, what's the purpose of that happening? To, like, why would Oda try to fake us out like that? It does nothing for the story for it to be like, oh wait, what really happened was that Pudding.
And the thing is, if Oda does this, right, for him to come back from this is gonna take some extensive like reaching. With her just like, oh, she fell in the water and she lost her memory. It's like, it can just come back at any time.
That shit's stupid though. Like,
I mean, the thing is, that's why a lot of people don't like the setup of it, where it's like how it happened. But I don't think the fact that she lost her memory is that bad. I think it brings some balance to it, where it's like, oh shit, Mad Big Mom and Mad Kaido is not on the same island. It's like, how do the Straw Hats have a chance? With Big Mom being somewhat
at the same time, though, Brago, like, I can understand why people, like, if you're coming off of Whole Cake Island and you saw how Big Mom was treated, it's like, this should be your number one thought if you were in that type of mindset. But it's just like,
I get it, but I don't think Oda views like characters like Big Mom that way. I think he just looks at it like he has a plan for her, like an ultimate plan for her, and he doesn't care like as far as the perception of said character.
Yeah, but for me, it's just like it kind of drags the tone down so much, because you have this situation where it's like, oh my god, things might be getting serious now in Wano. It's like, we got 2 Yonko here, and then you immediately get rid of the threat.
Yeah, because the thing is, if she is confronted by her crew, she's going to protect the Straw Hats from her crew.
Which, like, listen, for the Big Mom thing, I said this in the stream. It's like, for me, the thing I would prefer out of this, if this is entirely focused around the Straw Hats, like protecting Big Mom, instead of Big Mom being used as the key to solve the Straw Hats problems.
So my thing, like, I was thinking about is the succession plan. I've been I've talked about it before, for like the Yonko. And do you think Oda could possibly pull that off? Wait,
what exactly?
A succession plan?
So, what the fuck is that?
Succession plan? Like you think people are gonna take the spots of the Yonko after they're
right. But I'm talking about Big Mom. For Big
fucking
Mom.
Katakuri for Yonko 2019 or 2020.
Essentially, right? But the thing is, what Oda would have to justify is Katakuri getting strong enough to take on that role. And secondly, with him saying the dialogue with Luffy and Katakuri at the end of the fight was like, you're going to come back for Big Mom's head eventually. Where it's like, if he comes back to Whole Cake, he would essentially it would be a rematch. Where it's like, we're fighting for supremacy at that point. I mean, I don't think Luffy goes back to fight Big Mom.
Nah, I don't think so.
I was just thinking about a succession plan as far as like, what would be next for like Big Mom and her family if she falls here.
Well,
she dies.
Like
that's what I'm saying. No,
right. Big Mom dies, but like a lot of people think it's like what Luffy said in Zou, like in a somewhat joking manner. But I think it was kind of foreshadowing is that he whenever Peckham suggested like their marriage thing, Luffy was like, "Well, why don't you guys just go under my flag?" And there's like, "Don't, we're under Mama." And if Big Mom dies, and Katakuri's never going to be an antagonist to Luffy ever again in the series. Like he's got that law. He's got that law drip where he's just on Luffy's dick now. So, like, if that happens, then if Big Mom goes down, I think they just go allied under Luffy's flag. Yeah, especially honestly, given what's going to happen after Wano.
Insane. To get
having Katakuri in your fleet.
Well, I mean, Marco's basically going to be there too.
I think Marco's like temporary. I think Marco's true, like purpose is to protect like Whitebeard's treasure.
Yeah, but like he can't remain inactive from the plot whenever the plot is actively trying to get him back into the story.
Right. No, I think for Wano he's going to be active, but I think after that he's going right back to that island.
Well, here's the thing. Like, so I mean, like when in the Viver cards, there's basically alluded that Marco's going to be in Wano, and like,
yeah,
that's obviously Luffy's going to be involved with that.
Just because you're a part of the alliance doesn't mean you got to travel with Luffy, and you always
don't have to travel with Luffy, but like you become part of the Grand Fleet essentially. Just do your thing until the final war.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. Like I said, okay, the final war. Yeah, I can see him coming back for the final war if necessary. But I think right after Wano, he's like, all right, you know.
I mean, it depends what happens. I mean, it depends if Weevil shows up.
I mean, look at everybody else. Like, look at the other members of the Grand Fleet. They're not always going to be with Luffy, but whenever Luffy needs it, you know, then they will.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I guess I don't see Marco saying, "Yo, I'm now a part of your," you know what I'm saying?
Well, Luffy might have to win him over.
I don't think it's gonna be one of the. Okay,
so yeah, I think it's gonna be an unwritten, unspoken thing. Like, if you need me, I'm here.
Yeah, because like the thing is, I can't see fucking him leaving Whitebeard's. Like,
yeah, he's not gonna leave it on guard.
We already know that Marco respects Luffy. He has like a lot of respect for Luffy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying I think he's already he's definitely an ally. But as far as like what his true purpose, as far as like what he wants to do, is just to protect Whitebeard's treasure. Because I feel like Marco, okay, I think it's obvious that Marco, he kind of views himself as like, he failed, right?
Right.
Because he failed multiple times. He let Ace die. He let Whitebeard die. And then he failed versus Blackbeard. Where at this point, to somewhat redeem himself, like you cannot let anything happen to Whitebeard's treasure.
Well, I think you could also make that argument that he can't let anything happen to Luffy.
I would.
After the events, like well, there's an Ace plotline in here. If Marco gets involved, you have at least one Whitebeard related thing that Marco is sensitive about because I mean he failed Ace as well technically.
No, I agree, but I think for him, what Whitebeard cares about is like trumps whatever Ace cares about. Whereas
it's not what Whitebeard cares about. It's like he's just doing that because he feels guilt.
No, that's
if he finds a new purpose, it's not going to be just to continue protecting that place. No, but forever.
Right, but I'm saying right now, for him, the top of his priority list is like, how can I redeem myself for the loss of my father?
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, where I think if he really had Ace in mind, soon as like Inuyasha asked him, he'd have been like, oh shit, I'm there. For Luffy?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah. But like the thing is, like to get Marco to Wano first, you have to assume there's going to be something to force him away from the village to begin with.
It has to be something.
So if you get to that point, it's kind of just like, okay, so that kind of gets solved in Wano.
Yeah.
Whatever forces him away from that village has got to be like
something huge.
Yeah,
something significant. It has to be something significant. Like I said, maybe Weevil. would be like a perfect person.
Which is like weird because I don't know how. Maybe like Weevil messes something up and he wants revenge or something.
Weevil's probably gonna end up joining the Grand Fleet as well.
God damn! Everybody joining this fleet. I'm just so. I don't want people to join the fleet. I don't.
I mean, I don't even know what the fuck's happening anymore at this point because it seems like at this point, like
Jesus,
if Big Mom becomes an ally and Luffy has all the supernova, like how is this really like a hard fight against Kaido?
I don't think
it's a low diff. Low diff.
Big Mom,
Luffy doesn't move a finger.
Big Mom is gonna stay. I don't think Big Mom is gonna stay an ally. And then the thing with Weevil is Weevil's just Majin Buu and Babidi all over again. He's clearly gonna get redeemed, and he's clearly being he's clearly being controlled. But to like by someone else's motives.
You may be right, Matt.
He's not Whitebeard's son.
You may be right about him joining the fleet, right? Because I essentially see it playing out where he fights Marco, but then he realizes like, yo, like he's not against me. Technically, this is my brother. Where he goes with Marco to protect the treasure, right? So what happens is that he would be formidable enough to protect the treasure from Marco to leave. Where like you have him in the plot, we kind of write him out because he has this purpose of protecting like Whitebeard's treasure. Because ultimately, what he wanted from Whitebeard was acknowledgement, right? That's like what he wanted, to be acknowledged by Whitebeard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's being controlled,
right?
So he like, bro, if he finds out that he's not really Whitebeard's son,
and he's been doing all
then his whole purpose is like just erased.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to find something else. So like that's what I'm saying. He's like, bro, it's Majin Buu and Babidi. Like as soon as I saw them, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what's up? Like, yo, I'm like, what's up, Fat Boo? And I mean, I know that, and I'm not saying like that's a bad thing because Oda, you know, he tinkers things his own way. Yeah. It was dope. It was dope to see it, but like, it's kind of one of those things where you already know where it's gonna go. He's gonna be redeemed, and he's not gonna be like a bad guy. He's not gonna be a good guy either. He's just gonna be a guy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have the Big Mom redemption arc in Wano. We're gonna have the Weevil redemption arc even after he like basically killed multiple division commanders.
And then we're gonna have Marco redemption arc.
Well, I mean, the reason why he's killed multiple captains and shit is not because of his own motives. It's based off someone else.
It's like the same Big Mom thing, right? Like she has her twisted mentality.
They've been manipulated.
Thing with,
I don't think Big Mom's. I don't think Big Mom's gonna be redeemed. Per se. Like I think Big Mom.
What do you mean by redeemed?
It depends. Though. It depends on it depends on what you mean by that. It's like, what redemption does Big Mom need as far as strength? Like
she doesn't need redemption at all. So I don't think that there's gonna be.
I think she needs like to figure out who she is. Like it's just like it's the main thing now is like her finding out about Mother Caramel. And once she finds that out, like what happens to her personality?
To me, the two main routes that Oda is probably going to go with this is either one to where it's like the Big Mom like redemption quote unquote route to where it's like pretty much she has some type of like awakening with the Straw Hats and like she learns to like live like a certain way and they like kind of like grow on her to a point to where when she gets back her memories, like her like memories that she made on Wano kind of like trump her old memories and she realizes like, okay, I've been kind of fucked up, blah 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 blah, and she changes. Or it could just go to the point where she's with them for a little bit and then like she pretty much just like she gets her memories back and then she realizes, wait, what the fuck, these guys just played me the entire time, and then she just fucking goes nuts and like is like super pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hopefully everything with Big Mom gets figured out, and then for her, after she figures out like what's going on with her, I'm not sure what she does from there. I don't think she's gonna change how she views things necessarily, because like her whole persona is based off Mother Caramel and that promise. So that's gonna be great to see how it plays out. I was just thinking like how difficult it is for an old pirate, like if you just want to go somewhere like and retire, like. For someone of Big Mom's stature, like you can't, like you really just can't, because you gotta always be prepared because of the bounty you have on your head. Like when Rayleigh said, like, yo, if you guys would just take my bounty away, I could just retire in peace.
I don't know, dude. Like Big Mom, if she gets the Mother Carmel thing and Wanda, I think she just dies, dude.
It would be good.
Yeah, it's possible.
Because Big Mom, like with all the Yonko, because like if you buy like Shank's gonna die, Ido's probably gonna die, and
that'd
might die at some point. Seems
crazy.
Like a feasible thing. It's like the Yonkos serve no purpose once they're defeated. There's no reason to keep them alive because once you get into the final war, they're too much of a liability to actually balance in power if they become an ally. Yeah. And it's like they're just gonna do nothing.
Yeah. What if the world?
I mean, Big Mom could get like. Speaking about Majin Buu, Big Mom could get like the Majin Buu treatment to a certain extent, to where like remember like what happened with Majin Buu and Dragon Ball, to where like he got nerfed super hard and like he was always like he was like an ally to everyone, but like he was like always nerfed. Like he did.
Okay. Talking about like the regular Majin Buu now, that's like
the Big Mom nerfing just continues for the rest of the series.
Where you talking about like where the change of mind is permanent, where she forgets how to use her soul powers and shit.
Yeah, something like that.
God, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully.
Bro, just write Big Mom out the story.
Just calls Luffy
that shit would be trash. That shit would be trash.
Big Mom is a new Majin Buu. I think that's it. We covered everything.
Yeah.
Lando couldn't make it.
R.I.P. Lando.
He got a lot going on as far as just life. He was in there earlier, but he was tired.
I got the working team in the morning.
Yeah, but we're gonna try to get like Lando in something we talk about. Probably there's no break next chapter, so that's good.
I'm sure
chapter's coming out Wednesday though. So.
Is it coming out early?
Ooh.
Yeah, the Viz is coming out the 8th, which is Friday, and so we get the normal chapters 2 days before.
Damn. Wait, that means that fucking spoilers out tonight, baby, or tomorrow night, I guess.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Damn, I guess I gotta make this video then. All right. Damn, Wednesday, so Thursday morning. Okay, that should be fun. All right, so guys, leave your feedback. We talked a lot about the chapters, so people really can't complain. We talked about a lot of other shit too. So
fuck them if they complain. They can suck on some.
Damn,
you know.
Why are you so aggressive? Yo, shout out to the viewers.
Fucking Matt, dude.
Like, Jesus Christ, I appreciate y'all coming through. We haven't done this in a while. Again, like this was good, but I feel like we're truly complete when Lando was here.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need those wild takes.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have said at least 5 things Zoro related about how it was a revolutionary.
He would have definitely went on a tangent about Katakuri. So
I'm just glad that I'm able to be consistently a part of these now since we fixed Brago's janky ass.
Bro,
no, dude, I gotta give you mad props because like
he's been around.
I love ragging on you for being late with stuff, but for the past few months, dude, you have been rock solid, no pause.
Shit, pause.
Yeah, he's
no
been
pause.
Rock solid. He has been rock solid.
Like everything, you've been on time. You've been like the person like, let's get this going kind of thing.
Oh, he might be a little bit late, like in the stream, but I mean, at the end of the day, he was there. He was there.
He actually got there though.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm trying to do shit different.
Yeah,
bro.
honestly, bro.
He dropped a video in the past like year. That's good.
Yeah.
I think Matt's just developing along with the One Piece characters. Like it takes him a long time. Yeah, exactly. It takes him a long time to develop, but like he's getting there finally.
Character development, yo. We seen it right before.
Hey, nah, man. When Brago first brought me back out the community, I was always there and shit. But I just faded off into the background, you know.
Yeah,
into the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I just faded off, and then now, like, I mean, I'm always around, bro, but I just really couldn't get this. Like my computer getting a virus that really like fucked me up, and I just haven't fixed that shit.
I mean, there was a probably like 5-month period where you were literally never
ever around, ever. Yeah.
But now I can say this like, that the community is better when you are around, and I think
I appreciate
the
that,
impact
brother.
is felt. Like this nigga's been everywhere, literally.
Yep.
Hey, bro, I'll try to be like that, bro. Like for real. I've been in the podcast and
you've been like tied. You've been like in every single stream.
Yeah, every single stream. Like Matt is there. Like,
and then like you're in the DMs like, yo, we want to stream today. We want to do a video.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, that's great actually.
Hopefully we get some videos and chapter reviews and shit like that again.
Yeah, hopefully Matt goes back into the depths because we don't want to see him around in the community anymore. He kind of just takes up airspace.
I feel like Ty's done that. Like Ty's kind of like he pops up from here and there, but he's not he's not nearly as active as he used to be. But I mean, well,
Yeah,
I mean, he's got his professional Duel Links career that he has to attend to.
Is he still streaming?
What?
No, I haven't seen any streams from Duel Links at all. Like he's been making his
watch, bro.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna get everybody. I'm gonna get everybody used to me being around, bro, and then I'm gonna disappear again.
So you're gonna be like the Avatar,
and then, yeah, bro. But
when you really need it.
Like, I think what I'm gonna do, just like I'm gonna stack up on like the videos, cause like me and DQ, we was editing another video. We was doing some shit
Drop
today.
the video.
Nah, bro, I gotta drop all the shit. Like I gotta get like
Matt. The longer you wait, it's just the worst thing you could possibly do.
Just drop it. Just drop it.
Well,
like literally, because like you say that, but like. Remember you were talking about how like you were like, man, 2 chapters and the entire game changed.
Yeah.
If we get to like the end of the second act and Oda does some like intermission stuff where it just like reveals a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
You're better off just doing it.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is
drop the video.
You know what? You're definitely right. You're definitely right about that, bro.
I feel like just drop.
I think if I would have dropped the Reverie video that I did drop, if I would have dropped that sooner, the impact would have been it would have been way better. Way more received.
Because now it's like dropping it after the Reverie. It's like people are not gonna really care about Reverie videos until a Reverie comes back around again, and you know that's just how it really is. It's like hot topics. Like right now, the hot topic is like Big Mom's amnesia, and you know, basically anything that's going on with Wano. So the raid suit. So it's like,
but yeah, man. You heard it here first. The reason Big Mom has amnesia, she fingered her ass on the way down, and
Jesus Christ,
why is that a thing? Anyway, yo, like the video, yo, subscribe. We're gonna try and get something popping with Lando next week. We gotta get Lando back. He hasn't been in the stream in a while.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing anything.
But yeah,
must be busy.
Hopefully, we can get Lando soon. Like the stream, like the video, subscribe. We'll catch you guys later.
Peace.
Peace out.